oh maybe, you like my easy smile. And maybe, oh maybe, we'll stop for a little while. And maybe, oh maybe, I'll ask if you like tea. And maybe, oh maybe, you'll have a cup with me. And maybe we don't, and decide to take a walk. And you and I will ponder as we wander, as we walk.
Ponder While We Wander is so grateful for our first community sponsorship. A big shout out to Pine Tree Market, run by Michael and Katie Henderson, and their lodging support for us during our stay in Yosemite National Park. We're so grateful not only for their support, but their excitement in helping us share all things ecopsychology to a wider audience. If you ever find yourself in Wawona, California, make sure to swing by Pine Tree Market, your corner market, while you're in Wawona, and say hi for us. Sam the cat would love some pets as well. He's always at the ready to greet his human friends.
And you and I will ponder as we wander, as we walk.
Hello, Amber.
Hi, Natasha.
Before we head too far here, maybe I can start with a poem.
That would be amazing.
That way I can read before I walk.
There'll be a clue into the title of the episode in the poem.
Yes. Had you not already clicked on the title, that's okay. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. Oh, gee. Here we go. We're going to start it that way. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when I'm on my couch, I lie in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodil.
Thank you.
And I was thinking of that, I was thinking, how much different would that be if instead of wandering the cloud was I took a straight line as a weather front over the hills.
I scurried undercover as the weather moved in.
Right.
I stomped through the daffodil patch. Different tenor.
Different tenor for sure. Which brings us to our topic of wandering today.
Which we are also going to be doing right now.
We are. We are in Wawona, California, which is in the Yosemite National Forest. It's also the ancestral grounds to the Yosemite Indians and the Miwok tribe. And yes, we are here. And maybe we can just do a big hello, and maybe if we're looking down the street here, maybe a bow. Should we bow today? Bow. It's a hello to the trees and the sun and the melting snow we might hear.
Yeah. Hearing the drips of things melting. It's been fun to kind of watch the snow change over the week that we've been here.
We welcome you to Ponder While We Wander, where two friends who happen to be therapists go for a walk as we discuss relationships, nature, and meet life in the moment. Each episode is grounded in some aspect of ecopsychology, but can take us anywhere as we ponder while we wander, and you're welcome to come along. It's in the name of our show, Wander, and here we are, waiting all this time to talk about that. Keep it all a mystery.
That's so true. I love wandering.
I think we have a sense of what that is, to wander. Just in case you don't. Got a few definitions that might fit the bill. You like to start?
Yeah, I mean, I'll share wandering when I think of what it means for me, but to wander is to be alive. To wander is to have access to it all. What we know, what we don't even know, we don't know. What has been and what is to come, to be the past, present, and future within the span between breaths. That's how I sort of think of wandering. It's also a quality to the pace of it, whether it feels hurried or slow. So we can go into more of that as we go on, but I know you had another different definition of wandering.
Mine is borrowed, and yes, I do. I also like the word amble. I think it fits as well. So my definition that I'm going to read comes from Carrie Smith, who wrote the book Wander Society, which, if you haven't read it yet, it's a fun read. Kind of a mysterious read. It may be fiction or nonfiction. So potentially, she wanders or stumbles across an imaginary, maybe potentially imaginary, secret society of wanderers. And they have a manifesto, and they
like
exist. Yes. And so here is the definition of to wander. An intentional, aimless, and open-minded exploration of one's surroundings, serving as a creative and anti-consumerist act of rebellion against strict routes. A philosophical practice of slowing down, observing, and engaging with the world with curiosity. I feel like so many of those keywords are things that we say almost in every episode. And so what a great way to synthesize it and sympathize with it, I guess. I don't know.
Synthesize.
Oh, it's trying to tell us something. Tell somebody something.
To wander. Oh, there he is again.
And if you and I are wandering today, we could be described as, in the French term, flaneur, a person who strolls around in a seemingly aimless way.
I like the
that word.
seemingly aimless. I could see people watching us walk around and wander at times and be like, what are they doing? Where are they going? How'd they get out there?
How did we get out? That is a question we ask ourselves sometimes.
Where did we get here? Yeah. I'm thinking of this quality of wandering too. If you've ever gone on a walk with a young person, a toddler, a small child, I feel like they are really tapped into wandering. And that ability to kind of follow what is interesting and take their own path and journey through. And for me, being able to kind of see that even through some of my own kids' eyes or small ones I've been on walks with before, and sometimes, just how to like join that. Like, it can teach us a lot about wandering if we let them, those kiddos.
I know you were talking about the benefits of wandering. If we look at it as as an activity?
Yeah, there's lots of benefits and probably things that I enjoy about it myself. For my fellow ADHD brains out there, a lot of novelty when I wander. Even if it's a place that I've been before, when I enter it with more of that wandering or wanderer persona, there's lots of new things to always see. It's a good dopamine boost for me. It's got a sense of like agency, I feel like, in wandering. You kind of get to pick and choose what you want to follow and what feels interesting. Kind of like a series of noticings, and it's not very directive, which I appreciate. My nervous system sometimes a chance to feel a bit more expansive, and it's like, less expectations, and can just really kind of lean into some unstructured space and time. Be interrupting neural pathways if you have a particular way of like walking a certain path, or ideas about you're going out, you got to find X, Y, or Z, and just being able to kind of have a little bit more flexibility of mind there. Like the mindfulness quality to it, decreasing stress and anxiety, and of course, being out in nature. If you are wandering outside, and we've covered lots of the benefits of being outside in nature and all the good things that come along with that. Yeah, those are some of the things I think of when I think of the benefits of wandering, or what I enjoy about it, which is also important, a sense of enjoyment and wonder.
That's really observant of you, because there have been studies that also back all of those things up.
Tell me about those.
That being able to wander about, right, to follow wherever your moment to moment takes you, is one of those ways of connecting more deeply. When you think about our day-to-day lives, usually it's pretty linear. You're going from one place to the other, and maybe not a lot of tuning in and noticing. I mean, how many times have we passed the same things over and over again in our daily lives, and we don't even recognize some of the details, because that's just human. Right? We can't always pick up on everything. Our brains, our bodies couldn't really process all of that so quickly. And so there is kind of a situational, kind of temporary blindness that happens, where we only take in what we can. So the idea of breaking out of that, those ruts, and wandering, can have a lot of those benefits. We can talk about wandering in that physical, ambling sense, like we're doing right now, walking and wandering. And there's also the mental aspect of wandering, of letting your mind wander, where some of us have more of that than others. But one of the great benefits of scheduling out, or protecting time, or creating a container around intentionally letting your mind wander, is the benefit of increasing connection, neural pathways, and also for creativity, boosting your creativity. So maybe if you're struggling with the creative process, or your own connection to creativity, let your mind wander.
I love mind wandering. It's also very interesting sometimes, the places you'll end up, or places you get to think about and explore, and I love it.
I also think about the other ways that wandering is applicable. Is that a watermelon?
Anyway, a water what?
Watermelon over there in the snow.
Oh, it is a watermelon.
Does it look like it has a bite out of it?
It looks like it has a little nibble. Yeah. You're not wrong about that.
That's cool.
Huh.
Cool.
The things you notice when you're wandering.
How's that? Yeah. Okay. So the idea of wander time is something that I've been wanting to talk about. And not just wander time, but being in nature creates this other sense of time as well. But there are a bunch of Greek terms for time, but two of them that are maybe applicable right now is around chronos and chiros. And chronos being the quantitative, linear, measurable. We think about that as like clock time or calendar time. And even when I say it, it's like a more harsh, chronological, serious, kind of one-directional way of being with time. And then there's kairos. And kairos is a more qualitative kind of time. It's more meaningful. It's about context and maybe even like an opportune moment. And it's moment to moment experiencing. It can be very deep and meaningful and transformative. And often we find it when we're in nature, but there are also times in our life when we're in transition or maybe around death or some kind of other transition, big life transitions in our life, where we might experience this kind of alternate way of being with time. And when I remember we kind of do a chronological, even I'm using chronological, but when I'm doing an assessment of my life, often it's not linear. It is more those specific times or periods of my life. It's more where there was a lot of meaning, a lot of context going on, not necessarily even content going on, but yeah, what was being experienced at the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Yeah, when I'm talking myself or listening to people's stories or asking them about like what around this period of time, maybe it's like a chunk of time or maybe a decade or like you're saying, like a moment when something was happening, and how oftentimes like we can conjure up how we felt, what was going on, maybe who some of the people were. And then if I ask more specific questions about, okay, well, when, it's almost like it takes a moment to kind of go back into the memory and be like, oh, it was this specific age or this year. Or how many times I've had conversations like that where it's like you can access the content and the feeling and the experience. And then you have to go digging sometimes for the chronological point, especially if there was something really kind of poignant going on.
Yeah. What sticks with us and maybe what's stays a little harder to access. I think it's also an important feature of this wandering time because I think it speaks to values. And when we think about our societal values, especially the way we're living in this industrialized society and modernity, I think we value chronos time. We value like time is money, or don't waste time. I mean, there's so much
is of the essence.
of the essence. Yeah, no time like the present. I don't know. That can be used in different ways. I might roll that one back later. Yeah.
Yeah, but there is like there has to be some kind of productive output a lot of times when you're thinking about
Associated to time.
for a reason, for a purpose, not just the experience itself often.
Right. So when we talk about wander time and kairos time, and maybe even if that chronos or the kairos time is associated with liminal space, we've talked about liminal space before, but that space in between, you're not here nor there. I love that it can be really discombobulating. It can have this sense of disorientation, which is not a bad thing. We just may not feel comfortable with it. And yet there's a lot that can open up when we're in those spaces. So we wander over the snow berm.
Yeah. See how this goes. Some mud and snow and all the things here.
You got this. You got this.
It's a little firmer today.
Mud and snow. Whoa. Went down a little farther. But just straight down. Look at that.
There's a little creek connecting here.
Yeah, we could go this way.
Sure.
Or that way. What's calling for your attention today?
Yeah, we can see up here.
Okay.
It can lead us down if we decide.
So there's another term that is associated with wandering sometimes, and movements and groups that have also been associated with this. So if you're looking for other people to connect with, this is both a practice and a theory called psychogeography. And psychogeography is the exploration of environments, usually urban, right, with the emphasis on places and our interpersonal connections to these places and arbitrary routes. So the practice comes from this French term or practice of dérive, which is an unplanned journey through a landscape, usually urban, but it could be an environment like this as well, with stops to focus on our everyday relations to our social environment. But I would say also, if we are considering that we are making these changes, that we are in kinship with the world around us, that is a relationship. That's a social relationship. It's a form of experimental behavior and emotional dysregulation, being able to take ourselves out of the everyday in order to, make new changes, make new connections, have new experiences, feel alive in the world.
Would you say that would also include maybe learning about the history of the land or cultural histories associated with certain areas? Would you say that falls in that same kind of category, or is it more experiential?
I think it's more experiential, but I think you can take all of that information in with you to these experiences. There's a big rushing river right there. So I don't know how close we can get without causing our editor to be like, that was a mess.
Too loud.
But maybe we just wander back.
Okay.
So there's another definition from Guy Debord, who in 1955 has the definition of psychogeography as the study of the precise laws and specific effects of the geographical environment consciously organized or not, on the emotions and behaviors of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of that when we are thinking of the way our cities are developed, or the changes that are made as changes happen, and how we consciously or unconsciously change those things.
Yeah, I could see that perhaps being where maybe some of the cultural information or land history might fall into that a bit as well. Maybe more so than the other category you were speaking about. But
well, and the habits and the paths that we take, and if we take into account other than human nature, I like that we could become conscious about some of the ways that we are all living together, where in Los Angeles, we've created and probably other parts of the US, but this is the one I know of, we've created a bridge over some highways for wildlife to access and go from one point to the other instead of having to navigate through or over busy highways that are dangerous. So being conscious about the way that we maybe influence or change our environments.
Yeah, definitely.
But then also we've talked about this in terms of, are there gathering spaces for people? Where do people gather? Where do people find that it's comfortable to be outside and maybe safe enough to be outside?
True.
I think we can all think of times where we've been in our environment and just kind of knew where we wanted to be or where we didn't want to be. And some of those are conscious decisions and sometimes they're not. So the practice of intentionally going with ourselves or with a small group of people where we can wander together and then stop in certain places and get different perspectives of, how does this location feel to you? How does it feel for me? What do you notice? What do I notice? Because we are all bringing our own experiences and histories and knowledge to a situation.
I think about that in terms of, I mean, the way areas have, like you're saying, changed over time, and thinking about even different conversations I've had with parents or grandparents about the area that I live in now, and what it would be like for us to wander somewhere that would have been vastly different for them as they were younger, and them watching it change, and me not maybe having that same context for that and experiencing it now. And so also that sort of, it's an opportunity for connection and like deepening of understanding and learning histories, and further being able to see our impact on nature and how that's changed. And the same path maybe we've been wandered 1,000 times, and it's going to look different depending on when.
So we wander this way? It's a little
Even
crunchy.
this path has changed so much since we were here the other day.
Right? Yeah, we're here in February of 2026, and it had snowed a week ago, and now it's a little warmer, and it's changing the environment and the paths we're taking.
A lot easier to walk on this exposed ground than the slippery snow that was here just a few days ago.
Yeah, and what areas fields. There's even little flowers under that snow that just popped up. It's crazy. Oh, deer poop.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really fresh.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to see deer while we're here. There's evidence that they're all around. I haven't seen any yet. Yeah, we're here a couple more days. So I think the wandering spirit can be applied to different aspects of life as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I think back on maybe my career, one might have, from an outside view, thought maybe that was a wandering or an ambling. I'm coming back up to this tree because in the past there's been ladybugs here. So seeing, I see a few. I see a few down there. But they're still under all of the pine needles and stuff.
Well, that's been a fun surprise to see ladybugs crawling around.
A little surprise, little expectation that took us in that direction. So careers can look like wandering. They can look like ambling in certain ways. But I think that actually is more appropriate today than in past generations, where you could get benefits from a more chronological, straightforward, linear approach to careers. Are we going to try and cross this?
Maybe. Okay, we go across. I'm thinking about that in terms of education as well. Like it could be, I don't know, different what might seem like wandering path to and through education and our systems, and that there's lots of ways to do it. And what's it like to kind of wander and explore that journey as well? It's kind of like the archetype of the wanderer. Like, what does that conjure up for people when you think of the wanderer, and how much like aimlessness or wisdom, or what lives in that idea of the wanderer for people? I think of that quote, right? All who wander are not lost. That kind of idea. And even though wandering can look like lostness, it's actually not a lot of the time. Maybe it can feel moments of feeling lost, but I like to hold it in the spirit of wandering, which has a completely different context for me.
Right. That sense of openness instead of that the shoulds of the rigidity of
the shoulds,
going in a direction.
That there's many ways. And sometimes we have to wander to kind of find our own unique way through and in relation to the world around us.
Yep. And I think that there are times in our own personal growth where we do have to wander for a bit. And there's a wander time that it's so important to value and to find people and communities that value that with you, instead of questioning you in a more critical way, criticism kind of way.
And I think what we're exploring with wandering is there is this sense of like openness and curiosity and awe and wonder. And if you are a wanderer, and you have maybe lots of voices that are unsure of wandering or viewing it in this maybe critical, more judgmental way, it's the fastest way to shut down problem solving is to kind of get really critical and judgmental about an experience. And so I love encouraging people to wander and wonder and, trust that, like, okay, the path you're already on the path. The path is right now, it's emerging. And
Great.
you set your sights on a particular destination, you might miss a lot of really important turnoffs along the way.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not worrying about the path in front of you, but just the path that you're on. And then, later in chronos time, you can look back and then you can see the path. Then you can see where you came from and where you're going.
Yeah.
It's not always clear from where we are. And I think that applies to not only personal growth, but healing and recovery. And, those are two areas that you and I work with people on, and maybe we've been on our own path of healing and recovery. And those are never linear paths. No matter how hard we would like them to be in any kind of model, to be like step 1 is to do this, step 2 is to do that. And even programs that are 12-step programs, right? Like there are steps, but that process is a process. There's no rushing it. There's no timeline on it. Nobody can tell you how long it's going to take to get from step 1 to step 4 to wherever. And a lot of times people who go through programs like that will come back around and start kind of at the beginning, because a lot of this can be looked at as a spiral. It's not a recursive loop that gets stuck, but more of an upward spiral as we go through this.
The same ideas apply to grief or life transitions or spaces in liminal time, right? Like or liminal space, like we've talked about, from here to there, and how do we go? How do we go on that journey?
Yes. So maybe we're at the time where we talk about ponder points. What would you like to?
Well, before we end with that, I had one other thing I wanted to read on wandering. It's, in this book, A Field Companion for Wandering, held by Connor Bouchard Roberts. And I just really liked he wrote about it. So I'm going to read it to you guys. It might take just a moment, but
Please.
Wandering is sustained suspension, finding yourself in between places and a determination to remain out there, to not arrive just yet. A plan forms in your mind and you allow it to form alongside you, but not so concretely as to determine your itinerary. The plan is an inspiration, a lead, an insight, a question of a place. Wandering isn't being lost, though they are related closely to each other. Wandering for long enough will get you lost, and being truly lost may require wandering to get you home. Being lost is being submerged in unknown signs and symbols. Wandering is moving past and through, around and within those symbols. The shape winds and circles back and zigzags down back roads and hostels and homes and aimed aimlessness, admiring and observing all that's in the world without committing yourself to any one thing, noticing, acknowledging, reflecting, and letting go.
Yeah, I think of that when we're talking about kind of what's going on in the world right now and big happenings and so much upheaval and uncertainty that there doesn't look like there's a straight path right now for a lot of people, and it's causing these internal anxieties and even existential dread and that maybe that sense of wandering, of maybe being able to take that on for a little bit is where we need to be.
Yeah, or if or if you're considering thinking about something very differently. And I like what this part says about, allowing a plan to form alongside you, but not so concretely as to determine everything. So how even might we use wandering as a way to begin to explore different ideas that may have felt hard or foreign or polar to what you've thought before. So,
and that wandering doesn't mean that you're going to lose yourself, right? That you are taking yourself along with it, even though some parts of yourself may need to have a little bit of more care or nurturing, or just need to quiet a little bit more so that you can hear some other parts of yourself as you wander. It is a way of tapping into intuition, of being able to strengthen your own intuition and intuitive knowledge, and that self-knowing in not a forceful way, but an informative way.
What a beautiful way and gentle way to maybe even begin to acknowledge what your own interests or needs are. A simple walk and feeling the permission to follow interests. Getting the spur of acknowledging that, what calls to you. So,
yay. Are we at the ponder point?
Yeah, I think, my ponder point for today is just asking people, when is the last time you wandered? And have you? Now that you've heard some from us of how we're talking about it and framing it, and maybe are you open to trying it? What about for you, Natasha?
I think if there are fellow wanderers listening to this, we're going to give you the hello sign and welcome and a big hug, because sometimes wandering can feel really lonely and like we're the only ones out there doing that. And for those people who are considering wandering and feeling like you have to do this all alone, or that you don't know anybody else who's going to wander with you, maybe that is where you're going to meet your fellow wanderers, is by wandering. And even if not, then you know that there are those of us out here who are wanderers in lots of different ways. And, maybe we'll run into you wandering somewhere as well.
Yeah. So until then, wander well.
Wander well. Let's maybe say goodbye to this
Sure.
beautiful place. How would you like to say goodbye to it?
Tell me your inspiration.
Yeah. I think I want to there's snow, which is lovely. And I just want to draw my own little symbol here in the snow and leave it to melt. And you feel free to do that, or just watch me draw my little symbol here. Just to, I'm drawing like a little wandering path. Yeah. And we don't quite know where the next episode is going to take us. So you'll wander with us as we decide what that's going to be. And I hope you do wander with us. And if you haven't listened to other episodes, go listen to them. And until then, wander well.